From The Choice of Valentines by Thomas Nashe. It was the merry month of February, when young men in their jolly roguery rose early in the morn, 'fore break of day, to seek them Valentines, so trim and gay. I went, poor pilgrim, to my lady's shrine, to see if she would be my Valentine. But woe, alas, she was not to be found, for she was shifted to an upper ground, and now she was compelled for sanctuary to fly unto an house of venery. Thither went I, and boldly made inquire if they had hackneys to let out to hire, and what they craved by order of their trade to let one ride a journey on a jade. In am I entered. Venus be my speed. But where's this female that must do this deed? Hey-ho, she comes that hath my heart in keep. Sing lullaby my cares and fall asleep. Sweeping she comes, as she would brush the ground. Her rattling silks my senses do confound. Oh, I am ravished. Void the chamber straight, for I must needs upon her with my weight. My Tomalin, quoth she, and then she smiled. Ay, ay, quoth I. So more men are beguiled with smiles, with flattering words and feigned cheer, when in their deeds their falsehood doth appear. As how, my lambkin? Blushing she replied. Because I in this dancing school abide. If that be it that breeds this discontent, we will remove the camp incontinent. For shelter only, sweetheart, came I hither, and to avoid the troubler's stormy weather. But now the coast is clear, we will be gone, since but thyself, true lover, have I none. With that she sprung full lightly to my lips, and fast about the neck me colls and clips. She wanton faints and falls upon her bed, and often tosseth to and fro her head. She shuts her eyes and waggles with her tongue. Oh, who is able to abstain so long? I come, sweet lining be thy leave. Softly my fingers up these curtains heave, and make me happy, stealing by degrees. First bare her legs, then creep up to her knees. From thence ascend unto her manly thigh. Her pox on lingering when I am so nigh. Smock, climb apace, that I may see my joys. Oh, heaven and paradise are all but toys, compared with this sight I now behold, which well might keep a man from being old. A pretty rising womb, without a weam, that shone as bright as any silver stream, and bare out like the bending of an hill, at whose decline a fountain dwelleth still, that hath his mouth beset with ugly briars, resembling much a dusky net of wires. A lofty buttock, barred with azure veins, whose comely swelling, when my hand distrains, or wanton checketh with a harmless stipe, it makes the fruits of love eftsoon be ripe, and pleasure pluck too timely from the stem, to die ere it hath seen Jerusalem. O gods, that ever anything so sweet so suddenly should fade away and fleet. Her arms are spread, and I am all unarmed. Like one with Ovid's cursed hemlock charmed, so are my limbs unwieldy for the fight, that spend their strength in thought of their delight. What shall I do to show myself a man? It will not be for aught that beauty can. I kiss, I clap, I feel, I view at will, yet dead he lies, not thinking good or ill. Unhappy me, quoth she, and wilt not stand? Come, let me rub and chafe it with my hand. Perhaps the silly worm is laboured sore, and wearied that it can do no more. If it be so, as I am great adread, I wish 10,000 times that I were dead. Howe'er it is, No means shall want in me that may avail to his recovery. Which said, she took and rolled it on her thigh, and when she looked on't, she would weep and sigh, and dandled it and danced it up and down, not ceasing till she raise it from his swoon. And then he flew on her as he were wood, and on her breech did thack and foin a good. He rubbed and pricked and pierced her to the bones, digging as far as he might for stones, now high, now low, now striking short and thick, now diving deep, he touched her to the quick. Now with a gird he would his course rebate, straight would he take him to a stately gate. Play while him list, and thrust he ne'er so hard. Poor patient Grisel lieth at his ward, and gives and takes as blithe and free as May, and ere more meets him in the middle way. Thus gazing, and thus striving we persever. But what so firm that may continue ever? "Oh, not so fast," my ravished mistress cries, "lest my content that on thy life relies be brought too soon from his delightful seat, and me, unwares of hoped bliss, defeat. Together let our equal motions stir, together let us live and die, my dear. Together let us march unto content, and be consumed with one blandishment." As she prescribed, so kept we crotchet time, and every stroke in order like a chime, whilst she, that had preserved me by her pity, unto our music framed a groaning ditty. Alas, alas, that love should be a sin! Even now my bliss and sorrow doth begin. Hold wide thy lap, my love Danae, and entertain the golden shower so free that trilling falls into thy treasury, as April drops not half so pleasant be, nor Nilus overflow to Egypt plains, as this sweet stream that all her joints embanes. With oh, and oh, she itching moves her hips, and to and fro full lightly starts and skips. She jerks her legs, and sprawleth with her heels. No tongue may tell the solace that she feels. I faint, I yield. Oh, death rock me asleep. Sleep, sleep, desire, entombed in the deep. Stay, stay, sweet joy, and leave me not forlorn. Why shouldst thou fade that art but newly born? Stay but an hour is not so much. But half an hour, if that thy haste be such? Nay, but a quarter, I will ask no more, that thy departure, which torments me sore, may be lightened with a little pause, and take away this passion's sudden cause. He hears me not, hard-hearted as he is. He is the son of time, and hates my bliss. Henceforth no more will I implore thine aid, or thee or men of cowardice upbraid. My little Dildo shall supply their kind, a knave that moves as light as leaves by wind, that bendeth not, nor foldest any deal, but stands as stiff as he were made of steel, and plays at peacock twixt my legs right blithe, and doth my tickling swage with many a sigh. For by St. Runyon he'll refresh me well, and never make my tender belly swell. Poor Priapus, whose triumph now must fall, except thou thrust this weakling to the wall. Behold how he usurps in bed and bower, and undermines thy kingdom every hour. How sly he creeps betwixt the bark and tree, and sucks the sap, whilst sleep detaineth thee. He is my mistress' page at every stound, and soon will tend a deep entrenched wound. He waits on courtly nymphs that be so coy, and bids them scorn the blind alluring boy. He gives young girls their gamesome sustenance, and every gaping mouth his full sufficience. He fortifies disdain with foreign arts, and wanton chaste deludes all loving hearts. If any wight a cruel mistress serves, or in despair unhappy pines and sterves, curse eunuch Dildo, senseless, counterfeit, who sooth may fill, but never can beget. But if revenge, enraged with despair, that such a dwarf his welfare should impair, would fain this woman's secretary know, let him attend the marks that I shall show. He is a youth almost 2 handfuls high, straight, round, and plumb, yet having but one eye, wherein the rheum so fervently doth rain, that Stygian gulf may scarce his tears contain, attired in white velvet or in silk, and nourished with hot water or with milk. Upon a chariot of 5 wheels he rides, the which an arm-strong driver steadfast guides, and often alters pace as ways grow deep, for who in paths unknown 1 gait can keep? Sometimes he smoothly slideth down the hill, another while the stones his feet do kill. In clammy ways he treadeth by, and plasheth and sprayeth all that be him nigh. So fares this jolly rider in his race, plunging and sourcing forward in like case, bedashed, bespurted, and beplodded foul. God give thee shame, thou blind misshapen owl! What can be added more to my renown? She lieth breathless, I am taken down. The waves do swell, the tides climb o'er the banks. Judge, gentlemen, if I deserve not thanks. And so good night unto you every one, for lo, our thread is spun, our play is done.